Warren Bennis isn't just an expert on leadership, although he undoubtedly is. He is arguably the expert who created the modern interest in the subject, particularly with the book that he wrote with Burt Nanus, Leaders, Strategies for Taking Charge. Warren Bennis was a student of Douglas McGregor, who both taught and mentored him. It's Douglas McGregor who came up with the Theory X and Theory Y model of motivation that we saw in an earlier video. I'll put a link to it in the description. Douglas McGregor characterized two styles of motivation as Theory X, which is directive, controlling and task focus, and Theory Y, which is more relationship focused and democratic. Bennis followed his mentor McGregor in studying organisational development. However, he saw that Theory X and Theory Y were somewhat limited in accounting for effective leadership behaviour. He chose to focus on the work of actual leaders and what leadership meant in an organisational context by finding out what they really do. Although Bennis never came out with a theory, it was him that provided the foundations of our modern understanding of organisational development and leadership development. For me, Bennis's principal contribution is the body of work that he did, which shows clearly that leadership is open to everyone. It's not a product of birth, or genes, or even the school you went to. Leadership can be learned and developed like any other skill. Bennis didn't create a grand theory of leadership with 4 styles or 6 roles or 8 traits of leaders. What he did was he gathered data. Working with Burt Nanus, he started a revolution in thinking about leadership by studying the behaviours of 90 leaders from the worlds of sport, business, the arts, and exploration. Many of the leadership ideas that we now consider to be commonplace were first articulated in their modern form by Warren Bennis. For example, leaders learn from failure. Adverse circumstances and a series of failures are a more potent way of learning than a series of successes early in your career. Leaders create empathy. Leaders need to bring their followers along to share their views and their vision, and the only way that they can do this is by empathizing with their followers, by getting to know them and appreciate their point of view. And leaders create great groups. Nanus and Bennis argued that it is great groups that provide great results, and therefore it is the role of a leader to craft a great group of people. They need to bring a team together to help them cohere and to find opportunities in which they can thrive. In response to a Harvard Business Review article by Abraham Zalesnik in 1977, Bennis first crafted his now famous set of comparisons between a manager and a leader in his book On Becoming a Leader. I won't read all of these out, of course, but I will put the table on the screen, and as you read through it, you'll start to notice that the last of those comparisons is perhaps the most profound. It's now a commonplace saying that a manager does things right, a leader does the right things. It seems to me to be a delicious irony that in articulating the common abilities and capabilities of leaders that they found from their 90 interviews, Nanus and Bennis describe leadership abilities in terms of management. In Leaders, the Strategies for Taking Charge, they described 4 times management equals leadership. They considered that great leaders were people who were able to show superb management skills in each of 4 domains. And true to Bennis's preference for data over theories, theirs is not a prescriptive model which tells leaders what they should do. Rather, it is a descriptive model, one that describes how good leaders act. Strategy 1. Attention through vision. Leaders can manage where their attention goes and where the attention of their followers goes by articulating a clear and compelling vision for the future of their organisation. They are also adept at helping followers find ways to make that vision their own. Strategy 2. Meaning through communication. Successful leaders are able to amplify the power of their communication by using vivid imagery and salient metaphors. This helps to create a deep understanding, one which allows the ideas to resonate, which in turn creates trust and belief in the leader. Strategy 3. Trust through positioning. Building and managing trust requires effective action, an action that aligns with the vision that you've set out. Successful leaders position their organisation typically in one of 4 ways. Either reacting to external change, changing the organisation itself to lead external change, changing the organisation's external environment to create change, or by creating new links between the organisation and its external environment. And of course, in reality, the most successful leaders are able to combine all of those 4 approaches. Strategy 4. The deployment of self. If you want to develop and strengthen your own leadership traits, you need to be constantly learning and building and developing new relationships. This is what will give you the experience and the confidence to take risks and yet maintain the trust of your followers. This, in turn, allows you to manage your emotional states and maintain your confidence, which means you are more likely to be seen as stable, adept, and reliable. I'd like to end in the same way that Nanus and Bennis end their book. They identify and take on and dispel 6 pervasive leadership myths. Myth 1. Leadership is a rare skill. It is not. Myth 2. Leaders are born, not made. No, they're made through experience and learning. Myth 3. Leaders are charismatic. Some are, but most of them are just ordinary people. Myth 4. Leadership only exists at the top of an organisation. In fact, leaders are needed and exist at all levels of an organisation. Myth 5. The leader controls, directs, prods, manipulates. Is that really leadership? Or is it just commanding? Bennis's view of leadership is that good leaders align people around them. They focus them on compelling goals and they harness their energy willingly. Myth 6. The leader's sole job is to increase shareholder value. While investors may agree with this, Bennis's view is that this is too limited an understanding of leadership. Instead, true leaders serve as custodians of the organisation and of its future. Warren Bennis is one of the great thinkers in management, leadership and organisational studies, and his books are well worth reading. I'll put links to them in the description below. And if you've enjoyed this video or learned from it, please do give it a like. I'll be making loads more great management courses videos for you, so please do subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you don't miss any of them. I look forward to seeing you in the next one, and in the meantime, keep learning.